And hello everybody, welcome back to British Stand. Now there's a lot of slimy characters within the Labour Party and many of you would probably pull straws to decide who is the slimiest of them all. But certainly one of them in my top three is Ed Miliband. I don't trust a word he says. I think he speaks absolute waffle and actually I don't think he is good at his job. Genuinely, I really don't. And having him lead us to try and go down to net zero is a dangerous game. Now, today he was on Sky News and a fed-up news host actually started to grill him and keep on grilling him, and you can clearly see that the news host gets fed up as he speaks about the UK gas prices and whether it would decrease if the tax rate wasn't 78%. Ed Miliband, of course, with a bag of air and a load of waffle. We're going to watch this, and I've got a bit of evidence after this to suggest that Ed Miliband is full of crap. But as always, guys, please do hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and yeah, let's have a little watch of Ed Miliband.
Energy companies in this country are taxed at 78% on energy profits. That pushes up prices too.
No, that's wrong. Look,
it's not 78%?
It is 78%, but it's not incredible.
Whereas obviously regular corporate tax is 25%.
It's really important to make this point. Oil and gas is set, the price of oil and gas is set on the international market. The reason why...
That's the raw commodity price, in the same way that the prices of batteries is set on the raw, the raw commodity price.
It's not set by the tax rate on UK companies, is what I'm saying. It's set by the global price. You see,
I understand that, but you're saying that tax rates don't impact pricing?
I'm saying that in relation to oil and gas, they don't, because the truth is that the price for our oil and gas is set internationally. And let me explain. If you just let me make the point. Why did prices go through the roof when Russia invaded Ukraine? Right, well, our prices went through the roof, even though we imported a very small amount from Russia. That's because whether the gas was coming from the North Sea or internationally, it was priced on the international market. That's why we're in the grip of fossil fuel markets controlled by others, petrostates, and that wasn't about the UK tax rate. The UK tax rate could have been cut or higher, and it wouldn't have made an impact.
That's a separate point.
Yeah.
The floating price of commodities is a legitimate but separate point. Another point for why this country has unbelievably high energy prices is that we tax our energy companies.
No, you're wrong. I'm really sorry, but you're wrong about that because the price is set internationally. I'm really sorry, but that's not correct.
OK, well, let's put commodities aside. If you increase taxes on supermarkets to 78%...
It depends whether it's...
If you increase taxes on supermarkets to 78%, what would happen to the price of food?
It depends.
What would happen to the price of food?
It depends whether it's a domestic market where the price is set domestically.
This is a globally unquestionable factor about economics. You're right that your point also applies. You can't flatly deny my point.
I am denying your point when it comes to the question of these internationally set prices. That's the point I'm making.
If you lowered the tax of 78% on energy companies to the regular...
On oil and gas companies, it wouldn't make a difference to the price. In fact...
Yes, it would.
I'm afraid it wouldn't because the point is that the price is set internationally.
But there are lots of things that factor into the price that we pay. The lots of supply chain costs you've mentioned yourself. This is a huge cost in the supply chain.
But now, whether you believe Ed Miliband or not, I did do a little bit of research, of course, on his points about it being set internationally and all of these kind of things. And it didn't take me too long to find these two things, actually, that you can look into to suggest why our gas prices are so high. So, as you can see, why is gas expensive in the UK? Well, higher gas prices can bring up household bills as electricity costs are linked to wholesale costs. Britain is reliant on European gas imports and has less storage capacity than its neighbours. So that's a key point there. Last month, the owner of Britain's largest gas storage site said levels in the country were concerningly low. Now, why don't we get some more storage space to bring gas prices down? Well, funnily enough, we spend our money on this. As you can see, last month, we're proud to be a leading partner in providing vital support to Ukraine. In total, the UK committed £15 billion, Ukraine £10 million in military support, including our £2.26 billion ERA loan contribution, £5 billion in non-military support. So, again, our money is going on foreign aid, and as you can see there, £15 billion on Ukraine in general, which would suggest that the government are not that concerned with regard to try and bring down the costs for people within the United Kingdom. So again, it just shows where their sort of loyalties lie. They can bring those things down, and whether Ed Miliband is talking the truth or not necessarily, I don't necessarily think he is. But again, you can see through that interview that we are paying way more than others in Europe at this moment in time. We are paying, that's a fact, we're paying way more than others in Europe. And whether we're getting our gas supplies, of course, from Europe, the leading gas companies within the United Kingdom stated that, well, we haven't got no storage space, and we've got no storage space, or our storage space is concerningly low. So maybe instead of giving £15 billion to sort of Ukraine, just for an example, then possibly we could create more space and have some more of our own gas, and that would bring the prices down. And that's if Ed Miliband, of course, was telling the truth. Now, the news host is adamant that he's lying. I'll leave it up to you guys. What do you think with regard to Ed Miliband? Let me know down there in the comment section below. That brings us to the end of today's video. As always, please do hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. Peace.